Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or hi if you're new. Today I'm doing my May wrap up. I can't believe it's June already, tomorrow. So, I read quite a few books in May, so we're gonna get right on into it. I did rate each individual book for the Bang Chronicles, which I'll get to in a minute. But the first book that I read this month was Kingdom of Back by Marie Lu. I already read this with my friend Drew. I really enjoyed this. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. This follows Mozart Wolfbane as he was a child and his older sister. But this more follows the older sister, how she wants to compose, but in the century they're in, it's not appropriate for ladies to compose music. So she composes music for her brother and stuff happens. They build a world called the Kingdom of Back together and then it goes off from there. I really enjoyed this. It's amazing. So if you haven't read it yet, I highly recommend this book. It was really good. But that was the first book I read. Now we're going to get to The Bang Chronicles by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Britton, and Maureen Johnson. I rated each individual book in this. So, the first one being What Really Happened in Peru. I gave that a 3 stars. The Runaway Queen, I gave a 2 stars. The Vampires, Stones, and Edmund Haredale, I gave that a 3 stars. The Midnight Air, I also gave a 3 stars. Then Saving Rafael Santiago, I gave a 3 stars. The Fall of Hotel Denmark, I gave a 3 stars. What to Buy a Shadowhunter Who Has Everything, I gave a 3.5 stars. The Last Stand of the New York Institute, I gave a 2 stars. The Course of True Love, I gave a 3.5 stars. And The Voice of Male of Mangus Bane, I gave it 4 stars. And then I missed one. The Rise of Hotel Denmark, I gave a 2 stars. So all in all, I gave The Bang Chronicles a 3 stars, 3.5 stars. It was good, it just wasn't for me. I guess I wasn't in the mood. So I did finally read The Bang Chronicles. The next book I read was a reread. I reread The Diviners by Libba Bray. I also read this with my friend Drew. I will link his channel down below. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. So this, you should all know what it's about. It's about Evie, who gets into trouble in her hometown, and she goes and lives with her uncle in New York at the museum that he works at, and then a murder starts happening. If you want to read this, I recommend the audiobook because it's amazing. Just check out the audiobook from the library or get it if you have it. It's a full cast of characters. The voice who does Naughty John is really creepy, so it's amazing. 5 stars. So. Then I read Lair of Dreams by Libba Bray. This is the second book to The Diviners. I gave this a 4.5 stars. So there's that. So I did read this. I enjoyed it. So can't say much because it is the second book in that series. Then I read a biggie that came out this year and I really enjoyed it. And I read Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare and oh no, it's just Cassandra Clare. I read this. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. Did I? Yes, 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was so good. This follows the children of Will and Tessa from Clockwork Angel. So this follows their kids. So I was excited to read this. I really enjoyed it. 5 stars. Easy. 5 stars. I think that's the first Cassandra Clare book I rated 5 stars. So that's saying something. No, second book I rated 5 stars. So that's saying something. Then I read for the first time The Crown's Game by Evelyn Sky. I really enjoyed this one. I gave this a 4.5 stars. This is set in Russia. It's historical fiction, and it's about a game, obviously. When's it set in? I can't remember. So, this follows 2 main characters who are enchanters. One can control elements, and the other one is, it's really hard to describe his magic in this, but he can make things, he can make objects do things that he wants to do. So I really enjoyed this. 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was really good. I buddy read this one actually with a bunch of people over on Twitter, so I really enjoyed it. Then I read an adult romance, which I wasn't thinking I was going to get to, but I got to it. I read Faker by Sarah Smith. I liked this one. I gave it 3.5 stars. The romance I wasn't too keen on. I was more interested in them building the house that they were working on. I was more interested in that. So I read it, enjoyed it. 3 stars. It was good. Then I read Wicked As You Wish by Ren Chapino, and I gave that a 4.5 stars. That was really good. If you like magic, elemental magic, fire and ice, then this is for you. It's hard to explain what it's about, so I will try and link the Goodreads page for it down below. The next book I read was, I read Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. I finally got to this book. I gave it a 4.5 stars as well. I really enjoyed it. This follows a girl named Kelsey who finds out she is the new queen of Tearling, and she finds out things aren't as what they seem to be, and she's trying to reclaim her country the way it was before. So I really enjoyed this. The politics were amazing. 4.5 stars for this one. Then I finished a series. Sad that it's over. I finished The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson. I really enjoyed this. I love how it wrapped up. I love what our main character did to the one person who was the murderer, so I'm not going to spoil it for you. I gave this a 4.5 stars as well. So, read that one. Then I read a novella. I listened to it, Death and Night by Roshani Chachki. It's the novella in between her 2 books, and I gave that a 3 stars. The last book I read in May, I probably won't finish another book tonight, but the last book I read in May was All the Bright Places by Jennifer Deven. I did not like this. I gave it a 2 stars. So 2.5 stars. The illness, the mental health in here wasn't done correctly. I don't have this mental health issue, but it wasn't done correctly, and then there are major trigger warnings for this one. Suicidal thoughts, death in the family, abuse, and suicide. So keep that in mind going into this book. Our main male character, he is the one with these thoughts all in his head, and then he doesn't know what to do, and the people who are trying to help him don't do a very good job of it. So it's sad, but I did not like it. I only wanted to read it so I can watch the movie adaptation on Netflix, but this book wasn't for me. So there's that. That's all the books I read in May. let me know down below what you guys read in May. I would love to know, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.